Every mortgage is different and unique, and it's really important to decipher where the down payment comes from. For the majority of people, the down payment comes just from their working life. They've worked really hard, they've saved up their money, they've been diligent with putting money aside, and they've gathered those funds to help them for their first purchase. And that's the number one spot for where down payment comes from. Down payment can also be gifted, and we certainly do see a lot of that, where parents are helping their kids to buy their first home by gifting them their down payment. And gifted funds can certainly be used, but those funds can only come from parents, grandparents, brothers and sisters. That's it. It has to be immediate family. Extended family, uncles and cousins, girlfriends and boyfriends, that simply doesn't count. Other people have money in RRSPs, and RRSPs are a great way to access those down payment funds. I had a customer last week, he went to the bank and the bank declined him. After we had a conversation, I explained to him that, listen, you have $35,000 available through your RRSPs. So $35,000 is the limit as to what someone can remove from their RRSPs for their first purchase. Anything above $35,000, they will be taxed on it. They can certainly use it, but they will be taxed on it. In my customer's case, he only needed an extra $20,000 to make the down payment work. So RRSPs are a great resource. Perhaps you sold a property and that's where your down payment's coming from. Perfectly acceptable. In that case, the bank will want to see the purchase and sale agreement of the sold property, and they will want to see that the funds were wired into your account. Another good tactic to do, once you've gathered all of these funds, is put them in one singular account. It makes the bank's underwriting so much simpler and quicker. It's an easy checkmark for them to simply say they got one statement and they can see 3 months of history, and it's easy for them to just checkmark it and waive off that condition. So the golden rule of down payment is that banks typically want to see 3 months history of your accumulated funds. It's different if there's a sale of a property and different if the funds are being donated or gifted from a parent. But for accumulated funds that you have saved up on your own, they want to see 3 months history. One of the reasons they're doing that, they want to see that there aren't any large, exorbitant, irregular deposits from your account. For example, if you were getting every Monday $200 into your account, they would want to make sure, like, hey, where is that coming from? Or if you got a deposit for $10,000, that's an irregular amount, and they want to make sure that that can be documented. A good practice when you are formulating your down payment and you are putting all of that together, if you do have some irregular deposits, simply document where they came from. Another place where people access their down payment, it could be from the equity of their home. A lot of people have HELOCs, and they simply are taking the equity from their home to use it to make a purchase for another property. On the broker side, on the lending side, one of our jobs is to simply ensure that the borrower can maintain both loans, the equity they've pulled from their house, in addition to the new property that they're purchasing. Let's talk about cash jobs. There's a lot of people who have other extracurricular activities that garners them cash income. Cashable income, if you're not depositing it into your account, it cannot be used. You can't be shoving it underneath your mattress and the day before closing saying, hey, wait, I have an extra 10 grand sitting here. So any sort of cash income has to be deposited into your account. So I think we covered most of the sources of where your down payment can come from. It can come from saved up money, gifted money from parents or brothers or sisters. It can come from your RRSPs, and it can also come from equity from your house. It's important to consider all your mortgage options and what works best for you. At Expert Financial DLC, we are here to expedite that process for you and to make it as smooth as possible. If you have any questions, put them in the comments below and I will gladly answer those for you. That's it for today. Hope you enjoyed the mortgage tip of down payment.